Imagine stepping outside and feeling the air crackle like glass as it snaps against your lungs, the kind of cold that doesn't just surround you but claims you, wraps itself around your bones, and whispers that this place plays by rules written long before comfort was ever invented, because this is Yakutsk, a city where winter isn't a season but a state of existence, where the thermometer sinks so low it feels almost fictional. And yet every morning people wake up, pull on layers that feel more like armor than clothing, and continue living their lives in what the rest of the world would call impossible. And from the very first breath you realize this is not a story about suffering, but about endurance, about adaptation, about a relationship between humans and nature that has been negotiated over centuries, where cold is not the enemy, but an ever-present force that demands respect, because in Russia's deep freeze, in the world's coldest city, life doesn't stop, it sharpens, it becomes deliberate. Every movement intentional, every decision measured against the reality that outside these walls temperatures can fall so low that metal becomes brittle and breath turns instantly into ice crystals that hang in the air like tiny ghosts of exhalations past. And as the sun creeps reluctantly over the horizon, casting pale light across frozen streets that gleam like polished stone, Yakutsk wakes up not with urgency but with resolve. Cars rumble to life after hours plugged into heaters like patients on life support. Engines protesting at first before surrendering to routine. Drivers moving with the calm confidence of people who have done this their entire lives, while apartment blocks exhale warmth through frosted windows that resemble abstract art more than glass. And inside those buildings, families gather around tables where tea steams aggressively as if trying to escape the cold outside. Children complain about school like children everywhere do, except here the question isn't whether it's raining or snowing, but whether it's -40 or -60, and yes, there is a difference. A difference your skin understands instantly, even if your mind struggles to comprehend it, because at these temperatures, sound behaves differently. Footsteps squeak instead of crunch, and the air feels so dry it seems to pull moisture straight from your eyes. Yet Yakutsk remains vibrant in its own quiet way. Markets opening with vendors bundled so thick only their eyes are visible, selling frozen fish stacked like silver bricks, so solid you can hammer nails with them. Meat preserved naturally by the climate. Food that doesn't need refrigeration because the entire city is a freezer. And there's a strange beauty to this efficiency, this harmony between environment and tradition, where survival strategies have become culture and culture has become identity. And as you walk through the city, you begin to notice details that reveal just how deeply winter shapes everything here. Buildings raised on stilts to protect the permafrost beneath them, pipes wrapped and insulated like precious artifacts, steam vents rising constantly into the air like signals that warmth still exists somewhere below. And you realize that Yakutsk isn't just enduring the cold, it's engineered around it, designed with the understanding that nature will not be conquered here, only accommodated, and that understanding breeds a certain humility, a groundedness you feel in conversations with locals who speak about the cold, not with drama, but with practicality, explaining which fabrics work best, how long you can safely stay outside, how to recognize the early signs of frostbite, the way someone elsewhere might talk about sunburn. And there's humor too, because humor is a survival tool. Jokes about eyelashes freezing together, about phones shutting down faster than you can unlock them, about how -50 feels quite nice compared to -65. And you laugh, partly because it's funny and partly because laughter warms you from the inside. And as the day unfolds, you follow the rhythm of life here, noticing how people move with purpose, never wasting energy, never lingering unnecessarily in the open air. How social life shifts indoors during the coldest months. Apartments becoming hubs of warmth and conversation, kitchens filling with the smell of hearty soups and meat dishes designed to fuel bodies against the cold, stories flowing as freely as the tea, and somewhere in the middle of this journey, as you're settling into the reality of Yakutsk, if you're enjoying this deep dive into one of the most extreme places humans call home, take a second to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss future journeys into the world's most fascinating corners. Because trust me, if you think this is intense, there's more coming. And back outside, the light begins to fade early, the sun slipping away, as if it too is unwilling to linger in such cold, streetlights flickering on to illuminate a city wrapped in blue twilight. And this is when Yakutsk feels almost otherworldly, the sky clear and sharp, stars blazing with an intensity rarely seen elsewhere, the Milky Way stretching overhead like a frozen river of light. And for a moment you forget the cold entirely, captivated by the scale of the universe above a city that exists at the very edge of human endurance. And yet even here there is routine. Buses running on schedule, students hurrying home from classes, couples meeting for dinner, life continuing in ways that are at once familiar and extraordinary. And you begin to understand that what makes Yakutsk remarkable isn't just the temperature, but the normalcy within it, the way people have normalized the extreme, turning what outsiders see as a challenge into a backdrop. And that normalization comes with deep knowledge passed down through generations, knowledge of land and climate, of how to read the weather, how to prepare, how to respect forces larger than yourself. And as you explore further, you learn about the cultural roots that tie the people of Yakutsk to this place, traditions that celebrate resilience, festivals that bring warmth through music and dance, even in the depths of winter, moments of joy that shine brighter precisely because the environment is so unforgiving. And there's a quiet pride here, not loud or boastful, but steady, a sense that living here is a testament to human adaptability, and that pride shows in the way locals speak about their city, not as a curiosity but as home, a place they wouldn't trade despite the hardships. Because hardships have shaped community, and community has shaped meaning, and as night deepens, the cold intensifies, temperatures dropping further, as if testing the limits once more, and you feel it in every exposed inch of skin, a reminder that nature is always in control. Yet inside a small cafe you find warmth, laughter, the clink of cups, conversations flowing easily, and it hits you that Yakutsk isn't defined by cold alone but by contrast, by the sharp line between outside and inside, between struggle and comfort, between isolation and togetherness, and that contrast makes everything more vivid, more intentional, more alive. And hours later, as you prepare to leave the warmth again, layering up with the practiced efficiency you've learned to admire, you step back into the frozen night with a new respect for this place and its people, understanding that survival here isn't about toughness for its own sake, but about balance, about knowing when to push and when to retreat, about building systems and relationships that support life against overwhelming odds. And before this journey comes to an end, if you've made it this far through Russia's deep freeze and you're as fascinated by Yakutsk as I am, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you can join us on the next adventure, because the world is full of places that challenge our assumptions and expand our understanding of what it means to live. And Yakutsk, the world's coldest city, stands as a powerful reminder that humans don't just survive at the edges of possibility. We adapt, we build, we laugh about frozen eyelashes, and we call it home.